Welcome to Free State Central News. My name is Tim Masemola. Today we're going to be talking to the Executive Mayor of Metsimaholo, Zwane. Me other things still or the Bergolena Katsona Tatsilona Lelakajin, Ki Tabayane Yaho Puntua, ha major appointments or body and Telomora. We didn't know what the Limulore, Banibante, Babasna Bona, but what's on a little and other directors made it like a general Shibana Hapel entire service delivery, Mir Shabana entire ESCOM, Rashabanele entire Rendwood, me feeding that into Zelo Tatar Shabana Lezona, Matlo Akabang 2,400 Tata Abale connection to electricity, make it into Zelo Tatar Busan and Zona, so Hadizilla. That is one. Welcome to Central News.
You know, I'm excited to that gives me happiness and joy.
That is one. Let's talk about these major appointments. It took the municipality quite some time to fill up these posts. What took the municipality so long? It has been years.
In fact, it took 5 years to fill in the post, the senior management post in Section 56 managers. Or now what happened, I wouldn't want to say much about that one, but I can say since the new government came into being on the 3rd of December last year, we, through negotiations with other parties, you know, communicating with them, talking to them, we advertised the post of the municipal manager. We started with that one first. And then it was duly filled the 1st of June. So the municipal manager's post was advertised, the process went through, and we have appointed Advocate Mufokeng as our municipal manager currently. And we advertise the director's post in the field and municipal manager presided over that for over 30 days, because we are given some period already completely. And so the posts have been filled. I'm proud to say we have appointed the directors were LED. We have appointed director LED technical, CFO. We have also appointed the director. About 4 directors appointed. And then the only positioners I kia cooperative because only 2 people are applied there. And then so we could see, so it would not be fair. So the posts will be re-advertised. Cooperate.
Yeah. With these appointments, will this bring stability within the municipality, and how?
Yes. Remember, we've been using acting people on those positions. So they've been acting. So by bringing in permanent people, and I'll tell you after this, by bringing in permanent people, you can hold them accountable. And then they've also signed performance contract. You cannot sign a performance contract with a person that you know, that is the contract ends after a month or 2 months or 3 months. Then how will you hold that particular person accountable? And so by appointing the senior managers, you are taking full responsibility where the municipal manager would take full charge and have a control over them so that, because in my maiden speech when we took over, I said, directors must give strategic direction. Managers must manage. Supervisors must supervise. And when we don't give strategic direction in the office, you must be out there on the ground, checking whether things are happening. You cannot be a manager managing in the office. You manage the people on the ground. You cannot be a supervisor supervising being in the office. You supervise on the ground. That's the principle that I'm holding to say, that's the route we should do, and that's the route we'll do.
Are you in a good financial state? Because I think all these positions, there's going to be a financial implication. As the municipality, are you in a good financial state?
The good part is those positions have been budgeted for, so we don't have a problem with that. Currently, we are improving on the collection rate. I started with all state buildings, state-owned buildings, and then we recouped from them 24.6 million that we collected from the state-owned buildings. Yes. So we are moving first to say we clean our house, where we said all councillors must pay. If they don't pay, we cut. So we clean our house first. Once we have cleaned our house, then we'll go out. As I indicated to yourselves that with the state-owned buildings, we have collected and we are still collecting. Yes. In other instance, there's the recent hospital that owned us 16 million there. And my question was, should I cut there? And then what responsibility would I display if I cut power?
Going to the hospital?
Yes, to the hospital. Yeah. Now, but it was just to engage them to say, guys, no, pay. And they fulfilled that, they paid. Yeah, the hospital has paid that amount. And it's just SAPS now that we will be recouping it. But maybe as I'm talking to yourself now, we shall have got the money. But I have to verify. So we after this, we'll be going to the community.
I was about to ask you that, because when you talk about the community, we all know that with the background that we have as a country, people are lenient in terms of paying services, municipal services, and you need to have a strategy in terms of how are we going to approach them. Does the municipality have one?
Yes, for sure. Next week we'll be having informal council meeting. Be having informal council meeting where we are going to unfold the strategy, and one of them is to make sure that the community takes charge, and we are going to discuss the issue of ward-based budget. Remember, we have been using the budget, finding that other wards don't get anything. So we are going to sell that product of saying, at least, let me give an example to say each ward is given 1 million. Okay. It's given 1 million. If each ward is given 1 million, then we are trying our best to make sure that we eliminate these matches, this protest, because each ward shall have been allocated a certain amount. But based on that, the rationale is that at the end of the day, if the year ends, then we find that it's the community output, in other words, what they've paid to the municipality, the rates and taxes do not exceed the amount that we have allocated. We'll reduce that by 10%.
Yes.
But to the community that has surpassed that has paid more, then we'll add 10% on that. That's the proposal that I will make to the community, to the council on Wednesday. So in that regard, the community will find that itself at the end of the day, they don't get anything from us, because we'll be reducing that amount until they pay more than what is allocated to them. Because we cannot have a free society to say, no, just give and give. I'll give you an example or maybe we'll get to the cable theft issue.
Yes.
Let me
you
just
spoke
pause on
about
there.
the word-based budget. It's one of the things that a lot of people will be asking themselves to say, how is this going to work? Because maybe you just said maybe you're going to give each ward 1 million, and maybe you have a lot of wards. How is that going to work? And how will maybe the councillors or the people in that ward know, or maybe our councillors are going to be able to say, we are going to go back to our community and account, and how? Because there are a lot of backlogs, and if you're bringing word-based budget, you're also bringing a workload. So can you maybe explain to our communities to say, this is the plan and this is how it's going to work?
Yes, you see, if you allocate budget per ward, you are giving responsibility to the residents to say, here is the money allocated to yourselves, because the budget will be there. Because remember, there are grants that we get from the government. It gives us certain amount, the MIG, the MIC, yes, and then we get certain. Even ourselves, we find from the municipality fund, we find certain projects. So if we give an example, we give each ward a million. That put the wards, especially the ward councillors, responsibility of making sure that that money is spent to the betterment of that particular ward. But we are not going to give them the money.
Yes.
It will be paper money, because the money will be controlled from the office here. We'll be controlling them. They will just make sure that they get 3 quotations, fully in proper process. But over and above that, we are going to get training from COCTA. So we'll get training so that all councillors know exactly if we agree on word-based budget. Then will be put on board as well, given that training to say, how will it work? Because now it's the concept that I have in my mind, but we need to unfold it. But my understanding is, if we give the wards the responsibility of making sure, of taking accountability of what they do within their wards, then we'll succeed in this.
Someone who's listening will be saying, okay, they're going to give the ward 1 million rand. But already our people are failing to attend IDP meetings, whereby they will have an input in terms of saying, these are the things that we need within a particular ward. How are you going to make sure that the very same people in that ward, they get services? Because there are certain things that already they have dilapidated, and it's in need that the community get those things. How are you going to make sure that the community gets satisfied when they get the outcomes?
You see, the point you are raising is very important, but you'll be surprised. The new sheriff is in town now. And then most of the IDP meetings that I attend, it's attended by massive, there are a lot of people, they are attending there. They want to, not only want to see me, they want to hear those changes that you are talking about. And then, so through that, but also over and above the way in which we communicate with the community via Facebook, etc., will also loud hail, so that they attend the meetings to enhance on the existing strategy that we are using. But you know, we need to be realistic as well. You shouldn't just play with the emotions of the community. You must tell them, if you can't fulfill a certain thing, you must tell them the right thing to say, no, this one is unachievable. But if you can be sure that you are going to do that, just be honest. You know, at my age, I cannot be just be happy people to say I'm a liar. No. I need to be honest. I need to stick to what my principle to say, no. If we can't do that, we can't. But if it's something that it's worth trying, we'll try.
Let's talk to the issue of Eskom and Randwood. What is the situation currently? Because it's one of the things that, as the Democratic Alliance, you raised to say we have managed to make sure that we don't owe Eskom, we don't owe Randwood. What is the current situation?
Yes. No, it's. I'm happy to announce to yourself that we don't. I think we are the only municipality in the entire Free State, and maybe in some few provinces, maybe we can come up number 2, except Western Cape, maybe, but we'll challenge it, Western Cape as well. But we don't owe Eskom even a cent. We don't owe Eskom Rainwater, Eskom, nothing. We don't owe them even we are up to date with the payments, because they were our collection rate is standing at 70%, as I'm talking to yourself now.
Yeah.
It's standing at 70%. So at least we manage, but we need to balance our finances as well, because you see, if the good part is that we have appointed a good CFO. He'll be starting now from the 1st of August. So we'll be working hand in glove and making sure that we recoup more.
Yes. When you talk about Eskom, when you talk about Randwater, someone will say, when it comes to water, are you able to supply the whole community with water? And if not, what is the current situation? And do we have a plan going forward? Because we also have places like Muedrai. I know that there's no water in those houses. Maybe there's a borehole or something, but you are not supplying them with water like any other areas within Zamdel.
Yes, no, for sure. But remember, Muedrai hasn't been demarcated yet as a formal town or township. Yes. So we need to it hasn't been rezoned accordingly. So what we are intending to do, we are working hand in glove with Human Settlement, provincial one, so that we get it right. But we are providing water. There are water tanks that go there to make sure that our people get water, because that's the basic. You cannot deny them water. Yeah, but the only thing there, even in the townships in town, we are intending to have a water meter. That's a new one that that I learned when I was at in Midval, where just like prepaid meters, yes, electricity prepaid meters, we have also prepaid water meters. So that's the new one that will also be selling the concept to the councillors. And then there you'll find that it generate more revenue, because if you pay in advance, let's say for installation is 30 rand or whatever, then people know that it's exactly if he has consumed so much, then he has to buy.
But Majoro, with the current rate of unemployment, do you think the municipality is ready to introduce that?
Yes. That is another direction that we are giving. But let me indicate to yourself that it's one part that we are trying to address is the issue of indigent. Remember, if you are unemployed, if you can't afford, you have to present yourself in our offices to register as an indigent. Then, if you have registered yourself as indigent, then the government pays you, and then we are taking that burden, and then at the end, we claim that amount from the government. Yes. But you'll find that is our people just stay back. They don't present themselves, and that becomes a problem. So in that regard, I would say it also needs a lot of engagement with our community. But we'll deal with that one when we meet in a informal council sitting, where we are going to engage the councillors, because it is their territory. They know the people within their wards. They have to know each and every individual within the ward. If they know that, then the problem of the municipality shall have been resolved, because they will be coming with the problem before it escalates, it goes out of hand.
Yes, you just mentioned one of the most important things, indigent policy. People are saying, yes, I've registered to be indigent where I'm staying, but look, they're giving me a certain amount of units when it comes to electricity. It doesn't even go that far. And now you're introducing another system. So, do you think this will work? If 50 units doesn't work already, so aren't we going to find our communities without water, without electricity for weeks?
Yes, but you must also remember.
Because they cannot even buy electricity.
Yes.
They are unemployed.
Yes, but remember, those people who are unemployed have to register with the government to get their 350. They are given. And then they've been requested so many times through Department of Social Development to apply for the 350 grants that they get. And then over and above that, there are, let's say you're talking about the youth, we'll talk more about the youth. Let's say those young ones, maybe it's a 7-year-old or 5-year-old or 13-year-old. Remember, there are grants that are given by government to their parents. So, given that amount, maybe they'll take if they are given that amount. So, if they spend about 50 rand to buy electricity, then that's it.
So, are we teaching our people to depend on social grants?
Yes, that's why I'm saying to you, that's not the case. That's why I'm saying we'll go to the issue of creation of employment as you proceed with your. We'll come to that one, but definitely that's not the intention. But the intention is to encourage people who pay. Remember, don't look these things on one side only. There are those people who are policemen, nurses, teachers, who are but who regard themselves as indigent, who don't pay even a cent. So, but we'll be going after them. The councillors, by engaging them fully, they will know exactly that, and then so we'll go for those people. So, and then you'll find that is the number of people who have registered as indigent is narrowing, it's going lower and lower and lower and lower, having taken out those people who have hidden themselves behind being indigent, yet they are not.
Let's come to the issue of ESCOM. How are you going to manage the issue of illegal connections? We cannot run away from that. We know areas that this area is an informal settlement, but when you drive across those areas, you will see DSTV channels. You ask yourself, how are they able to watch television if there's no electricity there? Then it tells you the whole story that maybe there might be an illegal connection.
Yeah, you're born and bred here. Masemola, you're born and bred here. You know very well. We've started with success. You know success there.
Yes.
We have. There are people who have illegally connected electricity for themselves. And then we have penalized them, 38,000, we charge you. And then even it's more than that one, because if you find you having connected electricity illegally, if we have to connect, we charge you more. So even in town here, there's one Maxi 2, the shop here in town, Maxi 2. We found that is that guy connected electricity illegally. We penalize him 38,000. Yeah, we are disconnecting. But with regard to the major illegal connection of power, of electricity, it's in informal settlement. And I'm from there now, phase 2. I've seen that one when you go to Sakubu, yes, even Sakubu, the next to Sakubu. I was there. I've seen people have the dishes there, meaning they've got TV in their house. But the cables come from the left-hand side, going to the right-hand side where the informal settlement. So we are going to employ and solicit the support of SAPS, ESCOM people, and our own security. We are going to remove them. We are going to remove illegal connections. We'll do that. But it goes beyond the illegal connection in the informal settlement. There are those people, our own municipal people, that have been told that is they are also connecting illegally for the residents as well. If we get sufficient information, then we'll deal with them accordingly. But you remember, there's what we call the alteram partem rule. We don't just hear one side. We also have to listen the other side. If it's true that is our own employees are connecting electricity illegally for the residents, and then we have gathered more information, we'll deal with them. Won't hesitate to take action against them.
But someone might say, Executive Mayor, that those areas, why Reza Fumanele Fatsi and supply land to our people so that they can be proper supplied with electricity, unlike the way it's happening right now?
Yeah, but what do you mean by proper land?
Because by pay Limole, Executive Mayor, and we pay as well, they are not being supplied with electricity. They come with alternatives. That is why we're having illegal connections. So do you have a plan as the municipality to say, but we need to remove these people, maybe you can take them somewhere and reba bear handle, and then reba habana le stand this issue, yeah, illegal connections? Because if liba connect all, you will also find tomorrow balaiti happy because and they don't have electricity supply. We know you cannot live without electricity. You switch off 4 hours, the phone, everything, network, yeah, stop. So how are you going to make sure that address and you will also address the issue, yeah, the illegal connection?
Here, you see what we are doing now. We are trying our best. We are working around the clock to deal with the issue of Moitrai. And then once we have rezoned that area, and then it's a recognized township. There's a lot of spaces there that will take this with. Remember, where you see pockets of areas within the township here where people have just put themselves in, it's illegal. Those places were meant either for crèches or for schools or for businesses. And then they've done that one. So we are faced with the challenges that you'll never do away with. But remember, if ward councillors do their work as expected, if ward committees do their work as expected, then you will try to make sure that there is no people from Everton elsewhere coming at night. When you wake up in the morning, there's a informal settlement mushrooming there. So you'll keep that. I like the idea that at Midval, where I visited yesterday, they've employed, they've outsourced these services to say they know exactly if any person comes into that township at night or whatever, tomorrow morning is removed. But remember, this issue is not an issue of municipality alone. It's also the issue of government and the province as well that has to deal with this issue to say, how do we manage migration? Because people move wherever they like, coming in illegally so. But you'll be surprised also to find foreigners having their small houses or informal house within our municipality. We don't have a system to manage that one.
You also spoke about the issue of our little connector 2,400 households with electricity. Before I come to that one, let's talk about the infrastructure, the state of infrastructure, both for water and electricity. In most municipalities, you will hear people are saying the infrastructure is dilapidating. And what is the current state of infrastructure here? Because you are also going to be connecting other people. What is the current state?
Remember, in town, now I'm lecturing you now. In town, you need just to, what you have to do is maintenance. You maintain the structure, which is very, very solid and intact in town. I'm talking about the town.
Yes.
That's all that you need to do. We'll be starting with Valpark to put all, because there are globes that are off, that have gone off. We'll just go back to we'll start with Valpark and we'll come to town to make sure that all lights are on. Talking about town. We go to the township. We need education there, because you'll find that it's a lamp pole is there giving light to the community, safe, in fact, for them to can walk at night. People breaking them. And then other people are there. They can see who damages their own property, but people are quiet. So we need to go back to educate, re-educate our people to take control of their assets. Now, coming back to your question, the issue of electricity, we are electrifying now 2,400 households in Tembakubeka at Denisville. We are electrifying them. And that project, I think it's at the region of about 80 million. Yes. And so we will be coming gradually with this, as and when we get grants, because our intention is, as I indicated, 2024 will be going full blast. We want the government to see where other municipalities have failed to use their grants money. Then they will rechannel it to us, because those municipalities shall have failed to do that. Then we'll make use of profitable. So we'll cover as many people as possible in terms of that. But remember, those people who have placed themselves in the place where it's a waterlogged, it's our responsibility to make sure that they move out of that. Okay. We have engaged now the Abakwa people. Those are the Sens. Whatever the Sen community. We engaged them yesterday. We went to phase 2 in Iraq, where that area, when it rains, and then water flows to the houses. So they will come up with a mechanism to say, how do we resolve that one? And once they've managed, look, it's partnership. Once we have managed to deal with that particular aspect, we are going to build a mall there, and then also it's a wonderful place.
I was about to ask you the same thing, because it took the municipality weeks before the municipality could even react to that problem. I remember it was raining for about 4 weeks or so, and people were living in water there. And people kept on reporting, and there was no reaction on the side of the municipality. So at the same time, did you have a plan, or that was the only time you started to say, now we are having a challenge, how can we deal with the problem? Did you have communication with the people to say, no, we are coming, we want to come up with a strategy on how are we going to deal with this problem going forward?
Yeah, but no, you're getting it wrong there. Remember, we have got disaster management.
That is what.
We are getting.
Remember, you said it yourself.
Yeah,
from here.
Yes, I know.
I've been to those places, so I'm not wrong. I know you reacted later. That one, I'm telling you now, I can even give you proof. I know you never did anything. You waited for quite some time.
Yeah, maybe we are referring to different places. I'm referring to Iraq, as well as Somerspos.
Those are the areas.
If you are referring to that. Yes. You remember the water was overflowing to us. I agree with you. Okay. But we also sent our disaster team to go and assist there. It's not to say we can rather say we need to fortify our disaster management. That one I agree. But to say we did not do anything, it can't be correct.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Based on that, do you think you have capacity within the disaster team that could handle such situation, that could make proper analysis to say, how can we deal with this? Do you think you have well-capacitated people to handle that?
I cannot vouch on that one. That is why we have a municipal manager now who will be dealing with these things. I cannot vouch on that one because surely, to be honest with yourself, I was also worried to say, do we have evacuation plan here? And I've never heard that since I came to office here. So I on that regard, I concede, no, I don't think we have the capacity.
Okay. In terms of roads, more especially in Sasolburg, roads are not in good shape, more especially in the township. Do you have a plan on how you're going to, because I've heard and I've seen that you're going to mark the roads because they're not marked. But also they're also dilapidated. You cannot use those roads. People are crying day in and day out to say, hey, our potholes are damaging our cars. Do you have a plan in terms of that?
Yeah, but maybe when you say Sasolburg, you must differentiate. It's Sasolburg Zamdela.
Zamdela,
So
yes.
if you ask, because in Sasolburg, I don't think that problem is so vast as in the township.
Yes.
Let's specifically focus on the township.
Zamdela,
Yes. Yes, we have a long-term solution and a short-term solution. And Nduna is a businessman.
Yes.
From his place up to Hampeku, he's going to take charge of that. Is that partnership? Nduna, he volunteered himself to say he will assist the municipality in that one, in making sure that the potholes are fixed in that particular area that I've indicated. And then now, from Nduna up to the other side of Dr. Mudau, I've requested Cash Build. I've engaged Cash Build to go and fix that road because the trucks that are coming there are coming to their businesses. So they can't just say they don't do anything. They have to do something. Yeah, so I've engaged them. I'm going to engage Boxer. I think my meeting is on the 6th of August. I'm not sure, but my secretary will know that. I'm going to engage Boxer to use that Clinic B. You see, Clinic B, that road is terrible there. So that they take charge of that. But over and above that, I've requested ESCOM. Remember, we don't owe ESCOM a cent.
Yes.
I've said, ESCOM, come up with a plan and assist us in closing the potholes from Iraq up to the entrance of Zamdela. Only. I said, Seriti, take charge of potholes in both Orangeville and Dennisville. That's the engagement that, and then they're working on it. And then they've shown positive response in that regard. So it's not only that one. I'll be engaging Standard Bank on the 1st. Yeah, I'm meeting I'm meeting Standard Bank on the 1st at 1 o'clock. I'm going to engage Standard Bank to deal once and for all with the issue of sewer spillage, that the sewage that spills into Valdem at both Orangeville and Dennisville. But I will also request them to deal with the issue of sewer spillage at specifically Iraq. Yes.
So, but overall, you seem to be having a plan on how are we going to work going forward. Do you think you have capacity to handle some of these things that you've mentioned today ever since we started talking now?
Remember, you cannot do things alone. That is why I believe in engagement, in engaging people, because once you say I, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So it's a team effort. The MMCs that are there, because remember, MMCs are my support team. But over and above the MMCs, we have the councillors who have a role to play. We have roles to play. And then if we can be in agreement, we forget about politics. We put politics aside, we put the community first. That's what we call, that I subscribe to, the Batupili principle. That openness and transparency, that's value for money. If those things people can see, that is, I'm paying this, and then in return I'm getting this. You see, but I'm paying this because I'm getting this. But that needs, bro, it needs what I call WHAM. Do you know what you call WHAM? WHAM. Do you know WHAM? WHAM. Win hearts and minds of the people. You win their hearts and minds. Once you can do that, I'm telling you, my brother, you are gone. You have won the first battle. That is what I'm here for. I want to live, when I live here, my legacy must remain as the school where you come from. Yeah, you know very well that I left my legacy there. So I want to leave legacy when I live here. People must say, man, and that is Zwane has done a wonderful job. That's all what I want. There's nothing else.
That is another thing who create a mesebetsi ya rona Metsimaholo. Jolo ka re tseba hore ha ona mesebetsi e leng hore teng batho ba rona ba lahlehelwa ke mesebetsi. Ka ba mo teng le na le leano ho tla ka ho sebetsa ka ena ntlha.
Yeah, no, and that's my passion, to make sure that we take youth out of the street. We create jobs here. One, I think at the Naysville there's a boxer. We're going to build boxer there, and then it's going to create about 300 jobs. Boxer at the Naysville, because it will have taxi rank, it will have cubicles where people will be selling their own food, like magwinya, like chisanyama, like they'll be having that, doing business for themselves. That will create jobs. But we are going to have another, there's an investor that came to me. They are talking about container mall. Do you know, have you heard about container mall?
Yes, we've seen
that is something that attracted me when they introduced that concept to me, to say there's a container mall that they want to have about 300 containers, and then with youth, because it's specifically meant for the township, the small entrepreneurs, people with maheu, mutoho, making sure that it's and that itself is going to create a massive job at the Naysville. We envisage having that at the Naysville there. We're going to identify a place very soon, but we know exactly where we want it to be. And once that comes into being, we'll also bring it in Sasolburg here. You see, between the full stop, you see that one of Kopis, Orange, yes. Kopis, Sasolburg, then on the left-hand side, France, is it, yeah, France, no, Camelia, ne? Is it Amelia?
The one that
it's Amelia.
Outside.
Yeah, it's Amelia. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, on the left-hand side is Amelia, France is on the right side.
Okay.
That space there, we are also intending to have that container mall there. But we'll measure its success first to say whether it succeeds in at the Naysville there. But once that kicks off, then I'm telling you, my brother, we'll be taking a lot of youth from and giving them employment. But we are not ending there. We are not ending there. Very soon I'll be signing memorandum of understanding with Flavius Mareka, where we'll be taking their intents. We'll sign that memorandum. If they qualify there, they come and do practices, practice teaching, or practice, in our institution here. Yes. Then after that one, then they shall have acquired necessary experience, then they go and get employment. So we are going to sign that memorandum very soon. That itself again, it's great. But over and above that, we are going to increase the issue of this extended public works program. EPWP. Yes. For currently we are having 32 plus it is about 72 people that we have. But with the current CFO that we are going to have,
yes,
I'm told he knows his stuff. He knows how to get. We are going to end up with about 500, 600, even 1,000 people we are going to employ as a municipality doing the job here. Once they have done, is at least for 2 years, people will give people something in their stomach.
yes.
Yes.
You spoke about question or le batla ho create mesebetsi ka ro masepala, and batho ba bangata ba bua ka hore ana mohlomong le na le leano mo ileng hore le na le mafapha mmuso a ileng hore a teng ka haroma ho Metsimaholo a ileng hore mohlomong le ka bua lona to say we are having batho ba batjha ba ileng hore ba na le bakery, and if le hloka borotho ha se ra sebedisa outside companies re leke hore re ba support. And as the municipality, how are you making sure that businesses tsa batjha tse teng ha re bone di collapse? Because you will find nako ngwe masepala o na le nako mo ileng hore fumana hore batjha ba provider di services, they will wait for 9 months for them to get paid. Ana leke ne ka re ntlatsetse jwalo le check hore le ba thusa ka tsela mofuta ofeng, because le yona eo ke ngwe ditsela tse ka lekang hore di etsa hore employment e hodimo, hobane ha qala a ho ba le demand o tlo hloka hore a be le staff, and ke mo ileng hore mohlomong re tla bona batho ba fumana mesebetsi teng.
We have just appointed a director for LED. And then that director will be solely responsible, because one aspect that we're lacking on is the very same issue of follow-up. We groom them, but we don't make follow-up. And then they collapse along the way, and then it's a problem. So we need to have a track record to say we have groomed so many. How far are they? Are they prospering? Are they going down? We are lacking in that department, my brother. So we are lacking in that department. So, but we are going to fortify that department as soon as the director comes in on the 1st of August.
Okay.
Yes, we are going to fortify that.
That is all. Thank you for your time. Tsatsi la kajeno re buisana le the executive mayor wa Metsimaholo Ntate Zwane, mme re bule ka tsona thotse ngata, re bule ka ditsela, re bule ka maemo in general a le hore ba ahi ba phela ka tlase bona, mme ha re ngatse dintsa dintha re bule hanyane ka flooding e le hore ba teng, mme ke nana ke yone engwe dintho e tla etsa re bule re kgutlele ka mona hape, mme ka mora dikgwedi tse mmalwa just to check hore how far are they ka yona ntlha. The infrastructure o hlalositse hore e batla hore community ya ka mona e ikopanye, mme mo ileng hore ba hlokomeletse dintsa dintho tse le hore bana le tsona, bana o sheba boemo ba dintho tse locationeng, o sheba boemo ba dintho tse toropong, o kgona ho elellwa hore tse dintsa dintho di sentswe ke baahi. Mme ke a o tshepisa hore tla boela re kgutlela kwano hape, mme nna le wena re kopane nakong e tlang.